Good evening, this is Damien of the Virtual Pub Project, but you probably already knew that. So, apologies, we've been a while since we made a video. There's been a few things happening here which are not strictly to do with the pub, but they are things that are going to help us make sure the pub will open when we can do in 2, 3, 7, 8, 12 months, however long Mr. Johnson says we have to be closed for. Now, today's video is on a very important person who has been with pubs as long as pubs have been pubs, and that man is the drayer. What the hell's a drayer? Good luck to the barley man. The drayer is a person who's actually been hugely important to a pub. So a drayer is a man who drives the dray. What's a dray? A dray is a low-slung type of horse-drawn cart. So the drayer is the man who drives that cart. Now, why is this man important to pubs? Well, a dray can be used for all sorts of things. Anything that, hay ricks would put on them and stuff like that. But the most important one to us, beer barrels. You can put a lot of beer barrels on the back of a dray, drive them around to each individual pub, and then deliver them. Now, as times went on, and we got more technologically advanced, we get something called the Industrial Revolution, and steam power takes over. You've got great big traction engines that were driving around pulling these huge amounts of barrels, and a few later on you get things like the Foden steam wagon that they would have just logged them onto there and driven all those around everywhere, and that would have then delivered the beer. The drayers still kept their name. They were still delivery men that were driving the modern equivalent of a dray, normally to pubs. Pubs were the main people using these sort of services, especially around the late Victorian sort of time period. They kept the name drayers. We are drayers. We are driving an iron horse hauling a dray wagon. And then obviously came into the steam wagon, which they still carried their name drayers. We are still driving these wagons. Next step along the ladder, we get to a thing called World War II. All the men go off to fight in the war, and then they all come back, and the MO goes, we've got a lot of lorries knocking about that we don't need anymore. Just flog them for the value of scrap metal. Just flog them all on. And suddenly all these people are going, ooh, it's cheaper to buy one of those than it is a steam wagon or a traction engine. Let's buy those. It's cheaper. We've got a fuel infrastructure now. And that's where we then get our modern day sort of delivery vans and delivery methods that we use even today. A lot of people think, things like the canals faded out of being the main transport network for the UK. It wasn't the railways that did that. It was the fact that vans were so cheap and lorries were so cheap, people would get them out. This then carried on with the drayer. Into there he goes. And the phrase drayer has just stuck. So if you're ever in a pub and they're talking about the drayer or the drayman, that's what they're on about. They're on about the people who are going to come in and deliver their beer. Why have I done a video on this when it's such a small little bit of history? Over a third people in this country, so by statistics, are employed by the pub trade. Directly or indirectly employed by the pub trade. There's the drayers, there's the brewers, there's the accountants doing all of our books and things. This industry has such a huge impact on the employment of this nation, and there is a lot of unsung heroes in this employment, in this world, that you don't see. You don't, unless you're looking behind the curtains like we are as publicans and as people who work in the bars, you don't really see that. So the idea of doing a little video on who's a drayer, what is his job, was sort of just to go, hey look, there's a lot of people in this industry that need a little bit of love and support, and when we do things like implode 10 PM curfews and shut the pubs altogether if you're in tier 3 or now in a full lockdown, actually it's a lot more than the bloke stood behind the counter pulling the beer that gets affected by that. And there's actually this huge network that goes out across the UK that relies on the pub industry for employment and for financial gain. So basically a little video to shout out to them. Shout out to all of my lovely drayers. I have 4 different drayers that come into me because we get so many different beers from different places. Hopefully we'll see you all again soon. And yeah, that's pretty much today's video. Again, apologies for the delay in getting this one out. I will try and pre-record a few so I can let them out. But again, life may be getting in the way at the moment because of various bits and bobs which are happening. Other than that, check out the coffee link. Give us a like, a share, a comment. And until next time, see you soon.